Diddy's Ex-Bodyguard just dropped one of the wildest bombs we've heard. A full list of rappers Diddy allegedly smashed while he was still free. And when I say free, I mean before all this madness with the trial started.
What people have to understand is swinger parties exist. And that's exactly the lifestyle that this gentleman lives. He's a swinger. And swingers hang with other swingers. That's what it is. Like, the term freak off has become sensationalized by media, but what the true nature and name for this event is going to be called a swinger party, Piers. And that's what takes place. See people, partners sharing their partner.
This revelation is hitting the streets like a storm, and honestly, it's got everyone talking. If you thought Diddy was just a music mogul, think again, because these details paint a whole different picture.
Whenever these trials come about, the closer you get to the trial date, a lot of things start happening to remove people from the case that are going to strengthen the case for the prosecution. And I feel like we're watching that take place now with one of the male sex worker guys who provided tapes to the feds. He's disappeared. And this is similar to what happened in the Tory Lanez case, where the bodyguard whose DNA was on the weapon, he disappeared. So I expect to see a lot of strange things take place.
We're in week 2 of Diddy's high-profile trial, and it's not just any trial, it's for serious stuff. Diddy is being tried for various heinous crimes and a whole list of heavy accusations that could send him away for a very long time.
I know this situation is dangerous. I've had several attempts on my life throughout my career.
But guess what? Diddy's sitting in court acting like he's innocent, pleading not guilty, and even boldly declaring he's free from all crimes. I mean, who's really buying that story? Diddy, you can't fool us all with that smooth talk.
He's rejecting the government's offer to plead guilty and spare himself the possibility of a prolonged term in prison. When asked if he turned down the offer, Combs answered, "Yes, I do, Your Honor," as he stood in a baggy beige jail uniform. Terms were not disclosed, but prosecutors did say a plea could result in a shorter sentence for Combs than if he's convicted.
Here's where things get really interesting. On Piers Morgan Uncensored, Diddy's ex-bodyguard, Big Homie CC, came clean. This guy wasn't afraid to speak, even though he confessed to being threatened for speaking out. But he didn't stop. Nope, he went all in, spilling some serious tea that nobody saw coming.
Problems didn't start for me until I started to speak out about people like this. You know, it's been a hard time to line up this interview because the last time I was scheduled to be in this interview, randomly, our car gets hit from the side by a blacked out vehicle, no license plate. That's happened 3 times this month so far.
Really?
Somebody didn't want me to do this interview. Yeah, somebody didn't want me to do this interview, you know.
First, he touched on the death of Kim Porter, Diddy's longtime partner. According to Big Homie CC, her death from pneumonia wasn't just a sad coincidence. He hinted at some darker connections, suggesting that the string of celebrity deaths from pneumonia lately might have links back to Diddy.
Have you ever noticed how in this industry, people untimely meet their demise as soon as somebody else seems like they're having a problem? Have you ever seen that before?
Well, there was, of course, the case of one of his other ex-girlfriends, Kim Porter, who died of pneumonia at a very young age. You just referenced your own situation with pneumonia that you believe was deliberate poisoning. Do you believe that may be what happened to her?
Why are so many people coming down with pneumonia? Why is that happening to everybody? What is that about? Where have you ever seen this many cases of pneumonia associated with one situation? So, you know.
There were rumors.
I'm not saying.
Well, I was going to mention on this that.
Now, I know that sounds wild, almost like something out of a thriller, but when someone with inside knowledge says this, you've got to pay attention. It raises the question, how many of these so-called natural deaths might have a hidden story behind them?
There have been rumors circulating online that Diddy may have poisoned Jamie Foxx, which caused his 2023 hospitalization. In his Netflix show, he compared Combs to the devil in revealing his near-death experience after a brain bleed and stroke. He said, "I say this all the time. I saw the tunnel. I didn't see the light. It was hot in that tunnel. I thought, shit, have I gone to the wrong place? I looked up at the end of a tunnel and I thought I saw the devil saying, come on, or was that Puffy? I'm effing around, but if that was Puffy, it had a flaming bottle of Johnson. And no, I'm just kidding.
But CeCe wasn't just stopping at Kim Porter. He began naming names of rappers who got involved with Diddy and didn't walk away the same. The first name he dropped was Justin Bieber. Yeah, the pop sensation. Back when Justin was young and just starting out, he reached out to Diddy, hoping to get some mentorship and support from the mogul. Diddy welcomed him in, promised him the world comfort, guidance, a way up.
There's also this old Jimmy Kimmel Live segment, adding to fan fears about what might have gone down with Diddy.
Got me a Lamborghini.
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
I mean, I'm 15. You could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
No.
All right, 16.
No,
16.
slow down. Let's slow down, Justin.
Okay.
Let's slow down, okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when you get 16. You're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But in reality, that comfort turned quickly into pain. Justin stayed quiet for a long time, trying to dodge the rumors and keep his career clean. But now, after months of speculation, he's finally breaking his silence and opening up about what really went down.
His rep telling ET, although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from this reality detracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve.
Then, big homie CeCe turned the heat up even more by calling out Danity Kane's Dawn Richards. She's not just a name on a label anymore, she's now a plaintiff suing Diddy for sexual harassment, and she's got the receipts to back it up. In court, she described how Diddy's violent temper wasn't just a rumor. She witnessed it firsthand. She even recounted how Diddy used a skillet full of eggs, yes, a skillet, to physically harm Cassie. And Cassie also confirmed it in her testimony. If you thought you heard it all, think again. That's a scene straight out of a horror story.
Singer Dawn Richard testifies that Sean Diddy Combs hit Cassie Ventura with a skillet full of eggs. Danity Kane alum Dawn Richard, who began working with Sean Diddy Combs while competing on his show Making the Band in 2004, took the stand after Cassie wrapped her testimony May 16th. Richard joined Combs' group Diddy Dirty Money after Danity Kane disbanded. While on the stand, she told jurors that she saw Combs hit Ventura with a skillet full of eggs at his Los Angeles home in 2009.
Dawn's lawsuit isn't just about personal dislike, it's about justice. She described being harassed, assaulted, and even forced into a kind of prison while working with Diddy. Imagine your boss demanding you wear skimpy clothes just to have a meeting with him. Sounds like a nightmare, right? But for Dawn, this was her daily reality. And when Diddy would storm into her trailer without permission, no respect was shown. This wasn't just bad behavior, it was downright abominable.
Richard's testimony in Combs' ongoing trial comes 8 months after she accused the rapper in a lawsuit of subjecting her to years of inhumane working conditions, which included groping, assault, and false imprisonment. The lawsuit, filed in September, obtained by E! News, stated, Mr. Combs frequently held meetings with Ms. Richard wearing only his underwear, despite Ms. Richard's protests and repeated requests for him to put on clothing. In her filing, the 41-year-old also alleged that Combs ordered her to strip down to her underwear, made demeaning remarks about her body, and entered her dressing room unannounced while she was unclothed, and touched her without her permission under the guise of showing the stylist what to do. Richard accused Combs of sexual harassment, gender discrimination, and a hostile work environment by being exposed to sex trafficking and sex acts.
All of this shocking testimony made even Diddy's own lawyer take a step back. Diddy's ex-bodyguard made it clear that the guy who owns Bad Boy Records might be a mogul, but personally, he's a real terrible human, no sugarcoating it. And if you think Diddy would lay low after all this, think again. On the very day he was arrested, he was found in a New York hotel room, still living large. Instead of preparing for court or reflecting on the mess he was in, he was caught partying with $9,000 cash and a bag full of baby oil. Yep, baby oil. And from what's been said, That oil was supposed to be used on his victims. The man was brazen, like he thought he was untouchable, but now he is paying the price, as every minute seems like a lifetime in the courtroom.
So the next witness was a special agent who took the stand from Homeland Security, and that she, of course, along with her whole team, were involved in the arrest of Diddy that occurred in September 2024, and she was tasked with taking photographs of the hotel room. So there was a bunch of photos that were shown or entered into evidence. Those included Diddy having a Ziploc bag of baby oil. Bare baby oil was still in the room. So I think for us to still hear about there still being baby oil as late as 2024 is telling. What's also telling is that he still had narcotics, he had medication in a Louis Vuitton bag, which is exactly what Cassie testified to. Mind you, Cassie ain't done a free cough with Diddy since 2018, and the habits remain the same 6 years later.
Big homie CC didn't stop at rappers either. He named some heavyweight figures from outside the music world, names like Will Smith and even Dallas pastor TD Jakes. They've quietly stepped back from public life since all this blew up. But once the tape drops, they're gonna have some serious explaining to do. When those names get dragged into something like this, it's not just gossip, it's potentially explosive.
TD Jakes, Will Smith, guys, they're power bottoms. Now, what's a power bottom? Let me try to say it clean on here. It's a bottom, a person who takes, but takes aggressively, who takes multiple from back there. That's what a power bottom is. Power bottom is somebody, man, they can't get enough. Sort of like a nymphomaniac, you know, somebody who's addicted to certain things, but they're a bottom, they're a power bottom, and they take large items, if you dig what I'm saying, hence the word power. So TD Jakes, you know, we know you step down because you're a power bottom. Will Smith is impotent. He's a power bottom. That's why he was caught in the dressing room.
Then there's another twist. Another bodyguard, Gene Deal, came forward. He claims Diddy tried calling him 58 times to scare him into silence after he left. That's desperation right there. The man was so worried about his secrets getting out, he basically harassed someone to keep quiet.
Out of all this stuff and the stuff that he's done to me personally behind the scenes, you understand? Telling people not to F with me, telling people if they do things that they was not gonna work in the industry, they was gonna this, that, other, then sending these old sucker industry dudes after me.
And while Diddy was trying to pull 50 Cent into these wild parties, 50 Cent Street eyed firm. He refused every invite because he wasn't about that life. Instead, 50 Cent has been one of Diddy's loudest critics, going public with detailed documents exposing the darker side of how Diddy runs his empire. Diddy tried every trick to get 50 to join in, but 50 Cent's sense of right and wrong kept him away, and now he's paying the price by being one of the biggest voices against Diddy.
I haven't had issues with Puff where I don't like him like that. Like, I don't like things that he would do.
Right.
And make me uncomfortable.
So we're speaking on Diddy, we're speaking on Puff.
Yeah, okay. But I don't have that thing where I like, well, we ain't had no thing. I wasn't sending nothing at him, babe. If it was on the street side like that, we would be actively doing things to each other.
Right.
And we wasn't doing it. Right? So it gets to, but Jay definitely not that. That's definitely not. It's just being competitive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I look at it, I go, whoa,
So here's the million-dollar question. After all these shocking revelations, all this courtroom drama, and all the names dropped, is Diddy really going to walk out of this free? Or is this finally the moment where all the dirt comes out and he faces the consequences? These aren't just rumors anymore. This is a story unfolding in real time, with real lives affected and a high-profile trial that could change everything. I want to hear what you think. Are these accusations the end of Diddy's reign? Or is he still playing a long game? Hit up the comment section, share your thoughts, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more of this hot, real talk. The story's far from over, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. See you in the next video.